Today we're going to have a little chat with Katrina Halpin, one of our senior psychologists, around what NMT is all about. Welcome, Katrina. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks.
So, what is NMT?
Okay, NMT stands for the Neurosequential Model of Therapeutics.
Yeah.
Huge. What it is a set of clinical practice tools that helps us arrange information to understand the impact of adversity during development on current behaviour. And what that does is, in all the different little sort of outcomes you get from the clinical practice tools, it gives us a way to prioritise where to intervene in terms of current functioning.
Yeah, great. Okay. Why do we use it?
Okay, so we use it because traditional behaviour support or positive behaviour support tends to focus on either changing the environment or changing the way people interact with an individual, or by teaching the person new skills. And when we learn a new skill, it sits in a cortical part of our brain, so the frontal cortex particularly, where we need to be regulated to use that part of our brain. And what we know from the NMT is that our brain operates sequentially, which means there are times when we are operating in a much lower part of our brain in response to what's happening in our environment. And often in those situations, people can't access their cortex.
Okay, great. So then who benefits from this system?
Okay, so most people actually. So obviously originally it was designed for children who've experienced developmental trauma, children and adolescents who've experienced trauma during their development, and that trauma can either be adversity or adverse things happening to them, or the absence of relational health, so poor attachment with their primary carers. And often in cases we have both. Both situations are true. So it's obviously children and young people with a developmental trauma experience, but we found it very effective in working with people with an intellectual disability as well, because it's allowed us to really target the right layer of the brain for intervention, rather than just focus on them being responsible for their own behaviour.
Okay. So what does it tell us?
It tells us where there is some compromise in the way the brain's developed. So our brain develops according to its experience. So if we've experienced adversity, our brain adapts to that adversity. And when that adversity is removed, as often happens when people come into safe homes and safe care situations, the brain doesn't know how to operate in that new environment. So what we then need to do is build the brain to operate in this new world, which we can do by looking at the brain map.
Okay, and what other areas does it help with?
It helps I find it really valuable in helping young people know that there's actually nothing wrong with them, or adults or children. So what's happened is their brain has done a brilliant job. There's nothing wrong with their brain. There's nothing wrong with them. It's developed the way it needed to according to their experience. It's just that their experience has now changed. So what we need to be able to do is help them change the way their brain responds to the world, which is a very powerful thing for a young person who's constantly being, pathologised and diagnosed and all of those things that happen. And when I say young people, I mean all people. It's not just young people. Yeah,
great. And if someone's interested, what's the process in booking in, or how do we do this?
Okay, so obviously through our website, people can do an inquiry through our website, and that will come to me, and then I'll make direct contact with the person making the inquiry. Obviously we can fill out a referral form, and we will follow that process. But yeah, I'm more than happy to have a chat to anyone who's interested in how an NMT could add value for their person. And
do you come out, do you meet with people, or is it done by Zoom, or...?
We very much prefer in-person, the actual interviews and time spent with the person themselves does involve face-to-face contact if possible. We do try and build that in, at least one direct visit, and we might do a couple of days of that. If it was a remote, for example, we'd go out for a couple of days and meet not only the person but all of their carers and all of the stakeholders involved in their care.
Yeah, okay, great. And I suppose the big question is it covered by the NDIS?
So we can, because it can be done under a psychological assessment, we can do that under improved daily living, but we can also do it under behaviour support in improved relationships. So yes, we can do both.
Great. Any final words on NMT?
I've been a behaviour support practitioner / psychologist for a very long time, and I've been using the NMT for the last 15 years. And it has changed the game for me.
Great. And I'm assuming for other people as
For
well.
lots of other people as well.
Lots of the people you work with.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much for your time and for giving us a little snapshot into NMT.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Go to our website, check it out. It's a great program and helps and supports a lot of people. Thanks.